This video is going to be a little different from my usual ones. Due to me not being as active when it comes to my channel, I figured, how about I do something simple, while also being interesting to watch? Well, I like object shows. I like ranking things, even though I've almost never done that in any video. So I eventually came up with something. How about I rank every TPOT episode? Except we're not gonna rank these based on how good they are. We're ranking every TPOT episode based on how well they use my boy, Black Hole. I love this character. I love his deep voice. I love how much he stands out from everyone else by just being a simple black circle. I love the ways he helps his team without trying to suck people up, something he hates doing due to him being a pacifist despite being a black hole. He's the MVP of the show, deadass. At least when the writers treat him with respect. I wouldn't be making this list if he was perfect, now would I?
Alright, before we start, I just want to clarify. TPOT 11, TPOT 18, and TPOT 19 will not be included. 11 and 18 aren't exactly main episodes of the series as they take place outside of the competition, and even though Black Hole appears for a little bit in 18, I don't think it counts. I'm sorry. As for TPOT 19, while it does count as a main episode, when this episode came out, my script was already finished, I was almost done with all of the editing, and I'm not going to take the time to make more changes because I want to get this video done as soon as possible.
But if you're curious, it'd be in 5th place. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting with the worst episode on the list.
You're acting like it's some sort of amusement park attraction or something.
Do any of you remember when Sam Thornberry first started to write TPOT? Remember when the episodes sucked? Yeah, you saw this coming. The best way I could describe Black Hole in these few episodes is that, like nearly everyone else, he's the equivalent of an NPC. Everything this dude says can easily be said by anyone on the team, and nothing will change them or the episode. And this can't be any more apparent than TPOT 3. Black Hole is only visible for 30 seconds in this 22-minute long episode, so that pretty much explains why he offered absolutely nothing throughout. All of his lines are just him either agreeing with his team on something, and him mentioning how his team succeeded at preventing death. Spoiler alert, everyone else already does that. That's it. He contributes nothing. TPOT 3 as a whole is just flavorless when it comes to its characters, outside of a couple, and Black Hole's no exception. Also, why the hell did they make him so small here? They hired anyone, I swear.
If this is already dead, is there anything wrong with us using it to our advantage?
Unfortunately, this isn't the only time Sam forgets to make Black Hole enjoyable, because TPOT 6 is no different than the last. Bad, 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 bad. Everything I said about Black Hole's appearance in TPOT 3 applies here, except with a few new lines that are equivalent to a speck of dust. For crying out loud, he offered the least to his team. It's annoying whenever TPOT forgets to utilize its characters in an enjoyable way, because how am I supposed to care about these guys if they have absolutely nothing interesting or unique to talk about them? And with Black Hole's case here, along with nearly every single damn character, he just follows whatever the challenge is, maybe has a line or two. That's it. I guess they take advantage of the fact that he sucks stuff up for like 2 seconds. And unlike TPOT 3, his 3 or less lines somewhat fit him, I guess. I'm thinking of something positive on my app. Yeah, he'd be the one to come up with the idea that they should revive the dead fish in some way, I guess. But come on, at least make him do something sort of cool, you know? I promise Black Hole's a good character, you guys. Please just trust me.
It's genius.
Are you kidding me?
TPOT 5. I kind of don't like this episode. And its usage of Black Hole doesn't really help. Again, he's just kind of there. Although I do like his interactions with Lightning a little bit. They're kind of cute. It kind of sucks that Black Hole is shoved to the side this time around because his team, Death Pact again, were very enjoyable here. Honestly, the only thing preventing me from hating the episode. And I understand that you should give everyone an equal amount of spotlight, but at the very least, make him less dry. Thankfully, Black Hole has only Thankfully, Black Hole only has 3 episodes where he's kind of lame. We can only go up from here, because that's how ranking videos function, you donkey.
That was a necessary sacrifice.
Wow, it's TPOT 4, there it is. I like the way Black Hole looks with his bracelet. He looks like Saturn. I think that's probably what they were going with. It's nice how the team needed him to figure out what they do to win, but ended up saying that if they want to prevent death, they'll have to lose the challenge, which is to protect your funny plant. The fact that he was the only one to remember their goal is pretty interesting. I think if you want to make Black Hole a more secretive character yet still give him stuff to do, this is the least you can do. And honestly, he's only higher than the last due to him appearing more. I don't know what else to say. 5 out of 10, moving on.
Isn't it obvious? Let's just be Death Pact again.
Pretty sure you guys expected this episode to be low on the list. Teapot 1. I'm gonna be very honest, it's gonna be a little hard to talk about this one because it is the first episode. And you have to give everyone equal amounts of screen time in order to shine. But like, you didn't let my boy do anything. And it's not like it's Black Hole's fault. Remote's plan was to let him wait outside so their team could get launched by his gravity. Black Hole had the least amount of screen time out of everyone on his team this time around, so him being the first one safe after is very impressive. Although that might be because people thought it was a vote to eliminate. I'll say this though, I like how this episode showcases Black Hole's faults. You'd think being the most deadly and powerful contestant would give your team endless advantages, but anyone with a functioning brain would know that's a bunch of horse shit. Stuff like his sucking powers, that sounded bad, and his bad hearing can lead to some funny moments. I like that they didn't make him this unstoppable force that never fails at anything. Wouldn't have made things interesting. Unfortunately, he's kind of played off as more of a prop here, so I can't put him any higher. I need water.
Great.
The main thing Teapot 12 fails at besides the horrendous pacing is the fact that nearly every character is an annoying little bug that I just want to squish. Thankfully, the same cannot be said for Black Hole. I mean, not only did he basically carry his new team, but I find it neat that he's able to have better control of his powers. Like, look at this, how is he not sucking everyone up right now? He has some funny moments too. The la 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 Dave, just play the clip.
La 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 la. David, get annoyed. La 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 la.
And the fact that this is the first time we actually hear him scream, like actually yelling, he's grown so much. Black Hole's role isn't necessarily great here, but it's decent enough. And honestly, a 6 out of 10 is the least I need. Not much to say, moving on.
Try the lava vomit stuff first.
From my knowledge, a lot of people seem to hate Black Hole in Teapot 9, and honestly, I could totally see why. This asshole pretty much started the zombie apocalypse without knowing. And while we're at the subject of flaws, I wish it got mentioned on how annoying Black Hole has become to the other contestants. I guess it was implied with Fanny's silent reactions, but him being called out here would have felt justified. Thankfully, they do that next episode, but that's way later, so I won't talk about it. As for the pros, they're pretty much the same as Teapot 12, but arguably done better here. Again, I love how he uses his pacifist side to his advantage in challenges. It makes him it makes for some nice moments. And as a member of the astrobiology shipping club, him trying his very best to protect Tree from dying is so damn adorable. I wish their relationships got further established. They're so nice to watch. So yeah, Black Hole's role in this episode is pretty solid. I could see why people would find him annoying, but I didn't mind it personally.
Luckily, we caused no death whatsoever, and no danger too.
Okay, except for that line, that was such a stupid idiot line. Why did they put that in?
You've killed Tree forever? What are we gonna do, huh?
We're halfway into the ranking now, and fittingly enough, the next episode happens to be the middle of the show, Teapot 8. Black Hole and Fanny aren't getting along very well. Fanny wants to focus on winning challenges, and Black Hole wants to focus on the Pact. Death Pact again overall is just really good this episode. I love the little mishaps they get themselves into and how they react. The fact that Black Hole expresses genuine anger when the recovery center doesn't bring Tree back. I love it. I don't remember monotone characters having realistic meltdowns. Gotta be one of my favorite genders. I do not remember typing that down. I would talk about Black Hole and Fanny's rivalry here, but I want to save that for a certain episode or two. But on the subject of him and Tree, him caring so much about him is one of the most wholesome things the show has to offer, at least for me. Like, Black Hole wants to keep Tree safe and make him happy, but at the same time, he doesn't kill him to bring him back to his normal state. But you know it's from an act of care, especially when he says,
"Hey, it may not be death, but I'd rather you not beat up my friend either."
His heart is clearly in the right place, even if what he's doing isn't helping him. If only Tree got relevant after this arc ended. Anyway, good usage.
Hey, Lai, my name is Black Hole. You might remember me.
Okay, the next episode I'll be talking about is Teapot 17, but, like, it came out, like, after the script was finished and while I was editing the video, so I don't feel like editing the document just for this episode, so I'm gonna show you some highlights of my blind reaction that are related, well, the highlights that are related to Black Hole, because this video is about him.
It's easy.
Yeah, can bottle host every time?
I love seeing Black Hole happy.
Black hole, you're trying to sabotage me?
This is the stupidest happened!
No, Lahi, I'm sorry. I really did not mean to do that. They're living things. Can I do this?
I mean, Black Hole, to be fair, you could just toss them away.
Okay, you can do this. Okay.
Oh, and my Black Hole's so adorable. I love him so much.
Next trays, which means you're out, Black Hole. Should be even faster. I really thought I could do it. I'm sorry, Fanny.
Next.
Maybe I can just move you, buddy. Come on.
TPOT 14 sucks! I like what they do with Black Hole, though. After he agreed to take it easy on preventing death, you're gonna be hearing those two words a lot, just to let you know. Life becomes a dick and gives him a little challenge. His team has to get a flag for them to be safe, but a plant is blocking the way. He has to decide whether he sucks it up or sparing it and putting it somewhere safe. Obviously the latter, but it's the execution of it that matters here. Again, Black Hole is probably one of the few characters in this season whom you could put in any situation, and no matter what happens, it would be unique in some way. And fun! It's cute how much he cares for not only people, but animals as well. However, I've seen some people say that this episode ruined Black Hole's arc, and that him learning that he shouldn't focus on death the whole time was a waste. Have these people ever made a mistake in their entire life? Apparently not, because they'd actually be people. It makes sense that he wouldn't be fully on board with the moderation, since preventing death was his lifelong goal. Hell, he even hesitates on sparing it, knowing that killing it will save more time. Aside from that, he basically carried his team despite them losing, which he's also the cause of, but like I said, it's completely reasonable. The reason why this isn't any higher, aside from the episode being awful, is that I kind of like the more character-based moments more than the contest-based ones, if that makes any sense. And this episode doesn't really have those, but that doesn't stop this episode from being pretty good Black Hole content.
Most likely looking for shelter.
I will be honest, it was pretty difficult where I should put this and the last two episodes at. But after a lot of thinking, I've decided that TPOT 13 is taking the number 6 slot. Realistically, this episode shouldn't be as high as it is. Black Hole this time has, again, the least amount of screen time in his whole team. He has to have done oh my gosh. He has to have done something very amazing to get this episode this high. However, a lack of screen time doesn't necessarily mean a character has to do nothing. In Black Hole's case, he's able to take advantage of his little time on screen. Not only is he a great help during the challenge, but he develops as a person too. Like I said earlier, he's toned down on the whole preventing death shtick. He, along with his team, needs to prioritize what's best for everyone, that being life. And you can tell he genuinely wants to change. Like, just look at him. Hell, even when he's told to leave his post to stop the storm, by the way there's a storm, he doesn't want to at first, due to him worrying about everyone else in the hotel getting hurt. This shows that he doesn't necessarily want to lead the team anymore. He is so caring, I love him. And it's not just that, even the little things like Black Hole recognizing his old members way back then, and the possible TPOT 1 reference are neat to point out. How is it that a character that can't show any facial expressions is able to feel more fleshed out and developed than 40% of the cast? It's a little sad, but his lack of screen time, weirdly enough, is a good thing for others. That way they can shine like him. Results may vary.
Quiet your blades, Fanny. It's for the greater good.
I want you all to remember, before all of his improvements, he of course had to have made some mistakes. TPOT 7 marks the first of Black Hole and Fanny's arc. Similar to episode 9, when this episode first released, a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, hated Black Hole's guts. Saying stuff like, oh, this episode ruined Black Hole. He's annoying and won't shut the hell up about death. That's stupid. No shit, that's stupid. They make it clear that he is indeed in the wrong. If he himself knew that in the first place, there wouldn't be any damn arc. And when a powerhouse doesn't have any faults, you're a boring ass character. Hell, it makes sense why he would act like this. Yeah, he was usually the reason his team lost due to him making them focus more on preventing death than the challenges, but do any of you ever stop and wonder, hey, maybe this pacifist is doing what he's doing because he's a deadly species? That's the fun part about this. If you look back at the characters' goals in past seasons and maybe see why they do what they do, you get to attempt to figure out why they are who they are. And unlike most arcs that would last for like 10 episodes or so, this one only lasts 4 episodes, yet still manages to be twice as impactful and well written than nearly all the others. Anyway, I was supposed to talk about the episode, my bad. Fanny basically makes her relationship with Black Hole go in hot water, slowly making him raise his voice as she continuously says that she hates the pact, which he is of course upset by. Eventually, she ends up letting death happen by causing it herself. Black Hole becomes anxious and worries as Tree begs him to pull him away from her. If he doesn't help, he'll indirectly cause death. But if he does, he risks killing Tree. So he risks the possibility of it happening, and seeing Black Hole finally snap for the first time in his life is shocking knowing him, especially when Fanny makes him accidentally murder his best friend. It wouldn't matter what he did. He'd be the cause of Fanny's possible carnage. And worst of all, he would indefinitely witness his lover. Wait a minute, Marker could have stopped her. He was with them. What? He was with them. What the hell is your problem, Marker, you stupid idiot? Never mind, he redeemed himself later on. Then we get to, honestly, my favorite part. Since another team, Just Not, has a trading strategy, Death Pact again ends up trading the dead body with something they need for the challenge. They got exactly what they needed solely because of Tree's corpse. And Black Hole becomes speechless. And you can really feel his worriness in his voice.
Pillow was right! The death made us win! We won because we killed Tree!
He sounds so scared and a little pressured. It also might be implying something else, but I may be wrong. I don't care what anyone says. This is a great episode for not only Black Hole, but for his team as well. Although, how they started up the whole conflict can be a little underwhelming, audibly.
This is not fair!
Sabrina, why are you so horrible at voice acting?
Yummy!
TPOT 16. It'll be difficult to talk about this one without mentioning the episode before it, but like TPOT 1, I'll try my best. This and TPOT 7 are pretty much neck and neck. These 2 episodes can be interchangeable, but at the end of the day, I like this one ever so slightly more. Why? It's just more fun. Black Hole's great this episode. It's more challenge-based, but that doesn't mean we can't have plot-related interactions. The challenge is a little game of hide and seek, so obviously this isn't the best for him. I love how soft Black Hole is here. I mean, after experiencing near extinction, it makes sense, you know? There are so many great moments this time around. Black Hole pretending to taste his cake at the elimination ceremony always cracks me up.
And speaking of cake at stake, everyone on Twitter again hated Black Hole because he ended up getting the most votes while Pin got the least amount of votes. Everyone says it's Black Hole and Tree's fault even though they had nothing to do with it. This is the absolute worst community I've ever been in my entire life.
I love it when Black Hole tries to hide next to some trees and he constantly panics as he keeps sucking them up, leaving only one tree alive that happens to be taken. And after all of that, he just books it. I think it's cute how apologetic he is. He's such a sweetheart. Although, I think it's pretty clear what my favorite part was. Coming, Black Hole?
I'm gonna stay with this crack as long as I can, but I'll find a place. Don't worry about me.
I love Black Hole this episode. It's cool to see that he doesn't like to give up, even if he doesn't succeed. When he witnessed the whole universe nearly being destroyed, he didn't cry. He kept going. Despite how nervous, despite how scared he sounds, he's locked in. I love him. We all need someone like him. Why did he think trusting Pillow was a good idea? Aren't they enemies?
Shut up.
Ironic how the episode titled The Worst Day of Black Hole's Life manages to be one of his best episodes. Hell, the fact that his name is in the title already gives this episode a big advantage. This is TPOT 2, by the way. After he did pretty much the least out of everyone in the first episode, the writers knew to give him a big role in the second. And it's a good thing voters wanted to give him a chance, so now he gets his time to shine. And holy shit did he shine. It was this episode that made me open my eyes and say, wow, I think Black Hole might be my favorite character. Honestly, a big reason why this is ranked so high for me is how much it changed this character for the better. Black Hole was never the type of person to show off that much emotion. He was more mysterious and quiet, as well as being the voice of reason on his old team. Now he's able to express himself more.
But check out what we got.
This episode marked a new side to Black Hole's character. His moments are easily some of the most enjoyable parts of the episode. I love his little rivalries with the other contestants, even the ones where he used to be friends with. This dude is so serious when it comes to preventing death and wouldn't hesitate to talk back to someone. Like when he says, "I don't need to kill you for you to be dead to me," like calm yourself, so sassy for what? While we're on the topic of interactions, again, I'm happy they don't view Black Hole as this busted powerhouse. In fact, he still was pretty much letting his team down at the start, but he doesn't give up. He nearly made Teardrop lose her first contest, and considering that she was messing with his team, he turned into the reason his team ended up winning. Besides Tree, who cared about winning the most. Damn, I wish they fleshed out his relationship with Black Hole more, because they work amazingly together. Shut up. I have to figure out how to describe this without repeating myself. Well, honestly, what hasn't been said about this episode? It's funny, charming, simple, and just overall well written. And Black Hole's role here is no exception. If you're new to BFDI, I highly recommend watching them in order they were released. But if you don't want to, this episode is a nice little tease on what you could expect.
Fine. Here I go.
Damn, not only did everyone despise Black Hole during this time, but even fictional characters did.
I was just preventing.
We know!
Like I said before, it wasn't until TPOT 2 when I noticed how peak Black Hole was. But it wasn't until TPOT 10 that made me see everything. I knew Black Hole was my favorite, probably forever. This was pretty much the finale of his arc with Fanny, and honestly, the end of an era for Death Pact as a whole. As you saw earlier, everyone hates Black Hole due to him unintentionally starting the zombie apocalypse. They can't stand his death-preventing obsession anymore, but he doesn't want to admit he's wrong. Now, how convenient that the challenge is to end someone's nightmare, and it involves Black Hole. Doesn't help that he dreams about death, and even worse, he's the one causing it. The weirdest and somewhat creepy thing about this is that he doesn't try to stop himself from killing people. He's constantly taunting his teammates as they try to run away from him. No remorse for the damage he's causing. Now, there is a reason for this, but I have a theory that there is a secret second reason why he's not stopping. When Black Hole starts his genocide, he says,
This is great.
Now, the way he said that, along with him stressing out over his team's deadly win in TPOT 7, makes me believe that deep down, he secretly likes killing. But after a while and some self-reflection, he wanted to change and leave his psychopaths behind, which is why he was so eager to join the pact. I'm probably overanalyzing this, and chances are I am. That's just the price you pay when you make a character this good. Back onto the nightmare. Eventually, Black Hole tries to catch up to the others and kill them. And oh my gosh, this dude sucks at even attempting to kill these two. He occasionally makes stupid quips like an idiot. He's not fast at all. Hell, I could probably outrun him, and I'm slow as Christmas. And he cannot yell for the life of him.
Death surrounds us, guys. Have it your way.
Oh my gosh.
Don't look at that. Don't look at that.
Pretty much the only negative I can give here is that the voice acting is subpar. But even then, it's only Black Hole who has that problem. Fanny and Tree are fine. He's trying his best, and it shows. Because eventually, he resorts to not only getting rid of his team, but getting rid of everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything.
And that's it. That's what's gonna happen if I betray the pact. There'll be nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Oh, and I guess Tree died, but who cares? Black Hole may want to move on from his past, but he's able to go through desperate measures to prove a point to Fanny. If you remember, she was highly against the pact and wanted to kill people if it meant winning every challenge. Black Hole isn't like that. He puts preventing death first, and doesn't want to risk the whole world ending if everyone around him kills off everything it offers. But while focusing on preventing death, he also unknowingly prevented everyone's happiness as well as a result. He didn't want Tree to die, so he let him stay in the canal so nothing bad would happen to him. Little did he know that it would make him sad more than anything. In Teapot 8, he was too trustful of an opposing team and didn't even bother to stop them or get them out. Doesn't help that they were able to take Fanny's freaking mouth off. Not to mention, again, the zombie apocalypse he caused. His obsession with preventing death costed his team the challenge like 2 or 3 times. And yet, even after all this, he's not happy about it.
Right, and I clearly don't want that either. Like, you're here with your mouth, and Tree was normal too. I dream, and I wish things are normal and would work out. I don't want those things to happen. It's
like I said, he's trying his best, and it shows. In all honesty, that's the sign of a good person. Fanny then says that she's not asking for Black Hole to become some sort of killing machine. She understands Black Hole's ways and doesn't want to harass him about them. Yes, he is technically in the wrong, and all of those things he avoided while preventing death were all basically consequences, but she knows what he's going through. After a little while, she says this.
And I don't want to force you to do anything at all. If you don't want to, then I respect it. But our mission is to focus on life, Black Hole. You're too focused on the death part.
After this, Black Hole finally understands. He ends up on good terms with Fanny as they both promise to balance preventing death and protecting life. This is my personal favorite scene in Teapot. It's straightforward, it's in character for both sides, it's the perfect conclusion to this arc. To prove he's changed, after his team wins, he immediately goes to Fanny and tells her and Marker to get Tree out of that canal. Killing him, of course, but when he's recovered, he'll live life normally again. When this episode was released, I doubted that this would ever be topped. It seemed like the near flawless Black Hole episode, and like I said, it permanently made him my favorite character in the whole show. But it wasn't until January 1st, 2025, where I would be proven wrong.
but I think I can manage it for now.
I mean, come on, it wouldn't have been anything else. Regardless of what people think about him, it's unanimously agreed that Teapot 15 is easily Black Hole's best episode. It's not even close. If he was taken out, this episode would be pretty much ruined. Teapot 15 isn't even in my top 5 favorite episodes, but even I can't deny they absolutely knocked it out of the park with Black Hole. Now, I think it's fair that I actually talk about the whole synopsis of the thing. So back in BFDIA 17, Tennis Ball and Nickel accidentally went forward in time due to them messing with the yo-yo light they had, which can alter time and everything as a result. After they return to their home, Nickel decides to kick the yo-yo light back to the future, because he's stupid, which is where we are now. Tennis Ball, the one in Teapot, notices the yo-yo light. It keeps it in a safe place where no one can interfere with it. However, the failed debuters manage to do so, which results in them separately missing with different parts of the show.
Ooh, where am I? Did it work? Well, almost.
And so, things start to change. Marker is now the worst variant of green, there's no hotel, and the host is constantly switching between multiple people. Everyone is affected, except for Black Hole, who's never been more confused in his entire life.
Guys, I swear, there was a hotel, and Marker was purple, and...
That's ridiculous, Black Hole! I've always been this way!
He tries to tell people that things are changing, but no one realizes as their minds are changing as well. This makes Black Hole more confused and starts to become a little frustrated. Not even Golf Ball believes him, and she's the smartest person here. Regardless, he keeps trying to tell everyone, and after a little while, she remembers Tennis Ball's yo-yo light down in her factory, but it doesn't make Black Hole any less confused. He's downright terrified, more than he's ever been.
Somebody, help!
The two balls come back with the yo-yo light and can confirm that it's causing all this. But how come Black Hole knew the whole time? According to Golf Ball, Black Hole's body and memories would not be affected by any space-time changes due to the extreme strength of his gravitational pull and its effect on the space and time around him. I had to, re-listen to that at least 20 times for me to fully remember. So he's pretty much the most important person to be involved with this. Weirdly enough, they start to remember their old timeline and point out their differences, all thanks to One. By the way, One is basically the Bill Cipher of the show. I won't go in depth with her though, this ain't her video. The host demands the contestants to fix the timeline and retrieve the failed debuters. Black Hole is excused from this challenge to keep an eye on the crack, By the way, there's a crack in the sky that gets bigger over time. On TVs here too, I guess. Throughout the entire episode, Black Hole pretty much does the least out of everyone. At the same time, he's the backbone of the whole thing, constantly checking on the crack and the challenge as a whole. Meanwhile, everything around him alters in some way, as well as helping others with their problems. He knows how to flip pages now. What the hell? He's not even focusing on preventing death anymore. He doesn't struggle to hurt someone out of annoyance.
No, we need to find him.
If only we had a one-up.
However, despite this, he still isn't focused on the challenge. He just wants to fix the universe, and so does his team, including Fanny. This might be the first time they all agreed with one another without any second thoughts. Sure, they don't try to bring the failed debaters back and end up getting last place at the end, but they still did the most work out of everyone in terms of fixing the past, and that's all that matters. At this point, the world will be fixed in no time. That is, it would have. All of the failed debaters have been brought back, and the crack still continues to enlarge. Death Pact already fixed most of the past, but unfortunately, one of the other teams messes up the timeline and accidentally gets themselves stuck. Eventually, they damage the past so much that the crack gets so big, the universe ends up getting destroyed.
No! We've done too much damage!
No!
Black hole, what should we do?
I think it's too late. I think we're doomed.
Aside from this being a really good scene, if you remember, this is what Black Hole feared. He didn't want to risk the whole world from ending if everyone around him kills off everything it offers. And now, look what happened. This was the main thing he wanted to avoid. This is why he's so into preventing death. This was why he did everything he did. It was to avoid something like this from happening. His nightmare pretty much came to life. Thankfully, one reset everything back to normal, but Black Hole's still stressed. And so, he decides to manage the crack until everything gets better. Like, completely better, not, like... Why did they change Marker's color? It looks so stupid. We don't deserve Black Hole. He's loyal, honest, has good morals, interesting, funny, caring, and nowadays, a lifesaver. Thank you, TPOT 15. Even if you are a little overrated, I respect you for giving us the best Black Hole content we can ask for. I don't really know how to end this video, so I'll just say this. Despite being my favorite character, I don't necessarily want Black Hole to win. A finale has to be exciting and unpredictable, and him winning wouldn't really be too crazy. Everyone deserves time to shine after all.
The end.